Good morning, digital audio. Today we're going to be learning how to split audio, rename audio regions, and how to drag that audio into a new track to create something new. So you have to download this zip file of the Alphabet Soup template, and it's a little strange the way that you got to do it. Once you click on it, use this download button up here, not what comes up here. And then we'll save it. The downloads folder is fine, that's the default. And then once that completes downloading, you can show in Finder and click to unzip the file, which will create the GarageBand file, and then double click on that and it'll open up in GarageBand. It seems to be taking a little longer than normal, but alright, now here we go. And when you listen to the file, you'll hear that it's just someone saying the alphabet backwards.
Z, Y, X.
And the objective here is to create a new track, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. New track with duplicate settings, and I'm going to cut up this audio into different regions. The way I'm going to do that is I'm going to hit the play button.
Z.
Stop it when I want to split the audio, go to the edit menu, make sure this is selected, and select split regions at playhead. Now you have one region of audio that is just
Z.
And I'm going to rename that by zooming in the editor and calling it
Z. Z. Z.
And I'm going to go ahead and
Y.
continue to make my edits. Now you see there's a shortcut to split the regions of the playhead, Command T or Windows key T if you're on one of the Windows machines. I would strongly recommend you doing that because now it's a much quicker way to do it. In fact, you can even do it in real time.
X. W.
And you can see
V, U,
I'm using the shortcut
T,
of Apple T
S,
to
R,
create my
Q,
audio regions.
P, O,
Now,
N, M, L, K, J, I, H, G, F, E, D, C, B, A.
so using the shortcut, it's a much quicker way of doing it than going to the edit menu each time. So now I'm going to click and drag into a new track. Now you can see there's a couple different ways you can do this. If you command click, oh, nope, that's incorrect. That must have been in a feature they removed. Alright, so I'm just going to drag this into the new track into the appropriate order. And I'm going to try to, right now, you can see, right now GarageBand is forcing me to put the audio along to a tick in the timeline. That's because the snap to grid option is checked. If I uncheck this, you'll have more flexibility and you can get it exactly where you want. Now there was one edit here that I think I was a little bit late on. You can see it's the, let me undo that. By the way, undo is whenever you have anything that you do that you make a little mistake, undo. Apple Z or Command Z or Windows Z. It's the best thing to know. It's always comes in handy. So let's listen to this one because I thought it was a little bit.
F.
That's actually okay. But let's say I jumped the gun and I cut this here. So now you hear
F.
that sounds okay, but you can see I cut off the beginning of the sound. Edits in GarageBand are non-destructive, meaning you can get back what you have by using what's called the trim tool. You see when I put my cursor to the bottom left hand of the audio, and start dragging, there's the beginning of that F again. So if you make if
F,
your edit
F,
is a little bit off, you can use the trim tool either at the beginning or the end of the region of audio to correct that. All right. And let's continue on here doing this. Now, one thing, I'm pretty sure you get the idea. I'm going to mute this so we can hear the new track, which should be the alphabet in the correct order.
A, B, C, D.
All right. Now, one thing that may have. Oh, all right. So this is the new version of GarageBand. There's some things that you can do differently. So I can name these audio regions the way I want. Now we can see this is very clear. This helps if you have a lot of different regions of audio in a project to have them labeled clearly. And the way I'm doing that is over here in the editor window to call it whatever it needs to be called.
A, B.
So you can readily and quickly find any of these. So make sure though that, because if you have multiple things selected, it's going to apply. Right now I have 3 regions of audio, and if I go ahead and call this C, it's going to call them all C. So you just want to make sure that when you're doing this, when you're renaming your audio, you want to make sure that the audio that you have selected is the appropriate
C,
regions.
D.
So that's the assignment for today, is to download the Alphabet Soup template, import it into GarageBand, create a new track, cut up the audio into the different sections, rename them, and then drag into a new track in the correct order. And that's all for today.